Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again, as always. I just got around to finishing a video, guys, on Lotus Eater's daily YouTube channel about a young Australian woman who's recently just got through visiting the UK, and she decided to tweet out her experiences that she endured during her visit to our once green and pleasant land. Now, it should come as no surprise to you where she actually decided to stay during her visit to our country, because every single foreign tourist that I've ever come across descends on this place like the bloody plague. And that place being, of course, is London. So I suppose that does explain some of the complaints that she does have in this tweet, but I don't think it negates them entirely. So what we'll do, guys, we'll go through this tweet and we'll dissect it along the way and give our opinions along the way. So this young woman, Christy Mitchell, originally from Australia, like I say, starts off her tweet by saying, "I'm leaving the UK today. For my fellow Australians thinking of visiting for a holiday, can I suggest it's not worth your time at the moment?" Yeah, that goes without saying, but I do make one more suggestion to any tourist who's remotely even thinking about visiting our country at the moment. I've no idea why, but if they are, stay the hell away from London. I mean, Christ on the bike. Even people from outside this country must know and must hear about the horror stories that people endure in that fucking cesspit. Go to a little village in Yorkshire or a little village in Lancashire, anywhere but London. There's so much more to see outside of the London metropolitan bubble, believe me. I would rather stay indoors for the rest of my days than set foot anywhere near London, particularly taking my family down that way. I'm very sad to say it as a whole, everything is insanely expensive. That's what you get for staying in London, sweetheart. The quality of food is quite terrible. Yeah, that's quite subjective, to be honest. I like British food. I like pie, mash and gravy. Yes, gravy, not that weird green shit that the Cockneys put on there. I like brown gravy. I like the roast dinner. I like having a ploughman's, maybe because I'm biased and I'm a proud Englishman. I don't know, but I like the food here. I think it's quite subjective. I think it depends where you go and where you go to eat, whether you're going to like the food or not, if you ask me. Excuse me, guys. Getting around London is worse than ever, and if you've got any cash from your last visit, say 10 years ago, it's completely worthless here because they changed their coins and notes. Yeah, because the Queen passed away, that was bound to happen. Although I do think the Bureau de Change, whatever the hell you call them, and things in post offices and travel agents, I think they will change old tender for new. I'm not too sure. If I'm incorrect, please do let me know in the comments. London is unrecognisable. Now, bearing in mind, guys, this woman is from Australia. She doesn't live here, she's come here to visit, and even she says that London is unrecognisable. That speaks absolute volumes, doesn't it? But she is quite right. She was probably walking around Euston or Trafalgar Square, wherever tourists flock to, I don't know, and she'll be seeing signs that are written both in English and Bengali. You don't expect to see that in the capital city of England, do you? It is very much unrecognisable, and she has my utmost sympathy. God knows how much she must have spent to get here, stay in London of all places, spend money in London. She must have spent a fucking packet. And for what? For this. This is another good one here, guys. I felt safer in Israel, where I was less hyper-vigilant, a country in an active war. Missiles flying over from Palestine, potentially killing hundreds of people. She felt safer there than she does in Sadiq Khan's London. Wow. The constant earpiece wailing of sirens is never ending. The police are more interested in stopping you jaywalking than dealing with real crime. Now, obviously, we don't really have jaywalking here. That's more of an American thing. But she is quite right yet again. Police would much rather deal with something a lot more easier, say a naughty tweet or a naughty Facebook post. Let's just have, I don't know, a bit of an example here, really. Let's say the police in the United States had the same that the police in the Manchester airport got. Someone broke a female officer's nose. What do you think the police enforcement even in the United States would have done in that situation. I can't say it here because I'll get demonetized instantly, but you know exactly where I'm going here. Police here don't want confrontation. They don't want the arsake of having to deal with the outcome of a confrontation because there's too much paperwork, there's too much red tape, there's too many eggshells to walk on. It's an absolute disgrace when tourists are coming here and they don't even feel safe. Even they don't feel as safe as being in an active war zone. And pretty much every customer service experience is lacking in customer service. Not all, but they were pleasant. But they were a few pleasant surprises as opposed to the norm. Now, I do have to agree with this also. I do notice that customer service is pretty much non-existent now. No matter where you go, no matter what shop you go to, you either get a delivery driver coming to your door who can barely string a sentence together, they can barely say your name in English, they just grunt, give you your shit, and then off you go. You go to a supermarket, you either get self-service or you get some checkout girl who, yet again, can hardly speak a word of English. Customer service now is through the floor. Way back when I was a kid, you used to give your money to the shopkeeper and you used to have the occasional, like a passing pleasantry or a little 2-minute chat while you're sorting out your money or getting your shopping in your bags. That is all gone. Can you name me one time you went into a shop and someone conversed with you, taking your money, or even give you a passing smile when they are taking your money? It's all gone, and it's all down to you know what. My highlight was feeding this swan near a sign that says "Don't feed birds." That's a highlight, our entire highlight of visiting this country all the way from Australia. Is probably spending thousands upon thousands of dollars, and her biggest highlight was feeding a fucking swan. That poor girl. This country seems to really hate its citizens. Now again, this is coming from someone who doesn't even live here. She's probably been here 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks on a long stay, and even she can see that the government and the establishment are against people like you and me, the rank and file, the working class. We mean nothing to these people in the higher ups. We mean nothing to those massive people in their ivory towers looking down and spitting on us at every opportunity they get. But they still have their hands in your back pocket, taking away your hard-earned cash in fucking massive sky-high hikes in tax and national insurance. It's a fucking disgrace. It is in turmoil. You only need to see the ridiculous court finding below. Yeah, she's posted some underneath the tweet. I won't bother going into that. I feel sorry for people living here, and I'm surprised that another first world country could make me appreciate and feel lucky to live in Australia. And that's all she wrote, as they say, guys. Now, I've got to go back to what I said earlier. This is coming from someone who lives I don't know how far Australia is, thousands of miles, I'm not too sure, but it's on the other side of the globe. She's come here to the UK, and in 2, 3, possibly 4 weeks, she has nailed down the UK perfectly. We have non-existent police. Our capital city is an absolute shithole slum full of third world criminals who shouldn't even be here. She sampled our food, which, again, I do disagree with. I do like our food, but it's depending where she went. She went to one of them puffy, toffee-nosed, upper-class pubs somewhere where you spend like 35 quid for a plate of chips and a dried burger. I'm not too sure on that score. And she got the impression that the real citizens of this country, the people who were born and bred here, who can trace their lineage back through generation after generation, are hated by our establishment, are hated by our government, hated by our Prime Minister, and by all intents and purposes, I think we're hated by law enforcement too, since the zero fucks that are constantly given when we're on the receiving end of a hideous, hideous crime. This woman has my utmost sympathy. The amount of money she spent to get here, the amount of money she must have spent while she was here, all for that. Feeding a swan. Thousands of dollars just to feed a swan. This place is an absolute cesspit. The only real way we can change this at all, guys, is at the polling station. I know I've had my complaints about Nigel Farage and reform in the past, but it's the best of the bad bunch. We cannot have another term of either a Labour or a Tory government, because you know what? 4 or 5 more years of this, I don't think we can take the strain. I think we will self-immolate, we will be destroyed from within, and there'll be no coming back. I think there will be a mass exit of people from this country. You, me, and various other working class will scrape the money together somehow and leave this country, and that will be a crying bloody shame, because leaving it in the hands of people who are breaking into our country every single opportunity they get, this place will be burnt to the ground inside a few years. Sorry to be so glum, guys, but I just thought I want to bring that to you. If you want to check out the original video that prompted me to make this, just go and check out Lotus Eater's daily YouTube channel. It's the last video that was uploaded there, and see what Cal Benjamin has to say about this. He put it a lot better than I could, but I've done my best. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in comments as always, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.